I learned very early in life that silence makes people underestimate you. In my family, silence was treated like weakness. If you weren't loud, flashy, or constantly proving something, you were nothing. My sister understood that rule perfectly. She talked about money even when she didn't have it, success even when she hadn't earned it, and confidence even when it was borrowed. I was the opposite. I listened. I watched. I remembered everything. That night, the dinner that changed everything, was supposed to be just family. No big occasion. No celebration. Just a long table, too much food, forced smiles, and the same old unspoken hierarchy. My parents sat at the head, proud and loud. My sister, of course, had positioned herself right beside them, dressed perfectly, laughing too hard, making sure every story circled back to her. I arrived quietly, as usual. No designer labels. No dramatic entrance. Just a calm greeting and a seat near the end of the table. I felt the familiar glance sweep over me, the quick scan that decided I wasn't worth much attention. And that's when my sister smiled. Not a warm smile. Not a happy one. The kind of smile that means someone is about to humiliate you for entertainment. She lifted her glass and leaned back in her chair. "So," she said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "are we still pretending you have money?" The table went silent. Every fork froze mid-air. Every eye shifted toward me like this was a show they didn't want to miss. I looked up slowly. "What do you mean?" I asked calmly. She laughed. Not nervously. Confidently. Cruelly. "Oh, come on," she said. "You always act so mysterious. Private meetings. Phone calls outside. Big words, no proof. We all know the truth." My father nodded immediately. "She's right," he said. "If you actually had money, we'd know about it." My mother sighed, the dramatic kind. "We just worry about you," she said. "Delusions can get dangerous." A few relatives chuckled. Someone shook their head. Someone else whispered something that ended in laughter. I felt it then, that familiar pressure in my chest. The moment where people expect you to break, to argue, to defend yourself. But I didn't. I took a sip of my water. My sister leaned forward, enjoying this far too much. "Honestly," she continued, "stop pretending. It's embarrassing. We're family. We all know you're barely getting by." She paused, then added the final knife twist. "Some of us actually worked for what we have." That's when my dad smiled proudly and said, "Finally, someone said it." I nodded slowly. "Fascinating," I replied. They laughed again. They thought that was it. That I'd been put back in my place. But then I reached into my pocket. Not dramatically. Not angrily. Just calmly. I unlocked my phone. My sister rolled her eyes. "Calling a friend to save you," she teased. I didn't look at her. I scrolled once. Tapped a name. And put the phone on speaker. It rang twice. Then a calm, professional voice answered. "Good evening," he said. "This is Daniel. How can I help you?" I looked straight at my sister for the first time that night. "Recall the $3.8 million business loan," I said clearly. Effective immediately. Silence crashed over the table. My sister blinked. "What?" She laughed nervously. "Who are you even talking to?" The voice on the phone didn't laugh. "Understood," Daniel replied. "Initiating recall now. You'll receive confirmation shortly." I ended the call and placed the phone face down on the table. No smile. No explanation. Just silence. My mother frowned. "What was that supposed to be?" she asked. Before I could answer, my sister's phone buzzed. Once. Then again. She frowned, annoyed, and checked the screen. Her face changed. Not slowly. Instantly. Color drained from her skin. Her smile collapsed. Her fingers started shaking as another notification came in. and then another. She swallowed hard. "Why is my bank calling me?" she whispered. No one laughed this time. My father leaned forward. "What's going on?" he demanded. My sister didn't answer. She stared at her phone like it had betrayed her. Then it rang. She answered with trembling hands. "Hello? Yes. I don't understand. What do you mean loan recall?" Her voice cracked. I leaned back in my chair and finally spoke again. "Dinner's getting interesting," I said calmly. My sister stood up so fast her chair scraped loudly against the floor. "I don't understand," she kept repeating into the phone. "That loan is locked. It can't just be recalled. There has to be a mistake." Her voice went thinner with every word. My father slammed his hand on the table. "Who are you talking to?" he demanded. "Hand me the phone." She didn't. She couldn't. Her eyes were glued to the floor now, like if she looked up, the room might collapse on her. I need a minute," she said, covering the receiver and turning toward me. "What did you do?" I met her gaze calmly. "I stopped pretending," I said. The voice on the phone grew firmer, louder, impossible to ignore. "Yes, ma'am," the banker said. "The funds are being withdrawn as we speak. Your collateral will be reassessed within 48 hours. You were notified this could happen if the guarantor withdrew support." Her breath hitched. "Guarantor," my mother repeated slowly. "What guarantor?" My sister's eyes flicked to me again, this time with fear. "No," she whispered. "No, no, no." My father stood up now. "You're not making sense," he snapped at her. "What loan? What guarantor?" She finally pulled the phone away from her ear. "The clinic," she said. "The expansion loan. The one we used to open the second location." My father froze. "That loan was approved years ago," he said. "You told us it was paid down." She shook her head, barely. "It wasn't," she whispered. "It was refinanced. Bigger. Better terms." "And who guaranteed it?" my mother asked quietly. Silence. Every eye in the room turned toward me. I didn't rush. Didn't smile. Didn't enjoy it out loud. "I did," I said. The word dropped heavy into the room. My father laughed once, sharp and disbelieving. "You," he scoffed. "Don't be ridiculous." I reached into my jacket and placed a slim folder on the table. "I didn't want to embarrass anyone," I said evenly. "But since we're being honest tonight." I slid the folder forward. Inside were documents. Clean. Official. Stamped. Loan agreements. Guarantee clauses. Signatures. My signature. My mother picked it up with shaking hands. This can't be real," she whispered. "It is," I said. "I've been covering the loan for 5 years. Quietly. On time. Every month." My sister's knees buckled, and she dropped back into her chair. "You said you had investors," my father said, staring at her now. "You said the bank trusted your growth." "They did," I said before she could answer. "Because they trusted me." My father turned to me slowly. "You," he said again, weaker now. "How?" I folded my hands on the table. While everyone was busy deciding who mattered, I said, I was building something that didn't need applause. No one interrupted. I started small, I continued. Factories no one wanted. Contracts no one noticed. Long-term deals. Quiet profits. My sister shook her head violently. "No," she said. "You're lying. You wouldn't." Her phone buzzed again. She flinched. Another message. Another missed call. Her voice broke. "They're freezing the accounts," she whispered. "The payroll account. The operating account." My mother gasped. "But the staff," she started. "They won't get paid," my sister cried. "Not if this goes through." My father looked like someone had punched him. "Fix this," he said to me. Right now. I met his eyes. You told me to stop pretending, I said quietly. So I stopped. The room felt smaller now. Heavier. Like the truth had eaten all the air. My mother reached for my hand. Why didn't you tell us? She asked softly. I pulled my hand back gently. You never asked, I said. You only laughed. My sister stood again, desperation replacing arrogance. You can't do this, she said. I built that practice. No, I corrected. You ran it. I funded it. Her mouth opened. Nothing came out. And don't worry, I added calmly. I'm not here to destroy you. Relief flashed across her face. Too quickly. I'm here to step away. Her phone rang again. This time, she didn't answer. She didn't have to. Because I stood up. I've already transferred my interests, I said. The bank will contact you with options. Sell. Restructure. Or close. My father's voice cracked. You're doing this because of a joke? I shook my head. I'm doing this because you taught me something tonight, I said. That respect in this family has conditions. I picked up my coat. And I finally decided not to meet them. I walked out before anyone could stop me. The door closed behind me with a sound softer than I expected, but inside that house, it landed like an explosion. I didn't look back. I didn't need to, because for the first time in my life, I wasn't leaving out of shame, I was leaving with clarity. That night, my phone stayed silent. No calls. No apologies. No sudden love. Just quiet. The next morning, it started. My sister called first. I watched it ring until it stopped. Then again. And again. Voicemails followed, panicked, rushed, no longer sharp or mocking. Please call me back. There has to be something we can work out. They're setting deadlines now. I didn't respond. By noon, my father called. His voice was different this time. Slower. Measured. Careful. You didn't have to humiliate her like that, he said. I almost laughed. I didn't humiliate anyone, I replied. I stopped protecting a lie. Silence. Then my mother. Her voice cracked halfway through my name. We didn't know, she said. We never knew. That's the problem, I said calmly. You never wanted to. 2 days later, the news spread quietly through the family. The second clinic closed first. Staff were transferred. Equipment liquidated. Contracts dissolved. My sister tried to save face, posted vague messages online about restructuring and unexpected challenges. But reality doesn't care about captions. Within a week, the bank finalized terms. She sold. Not at a loss. But not at the empire she bragged about either. And the truth followed her, slow, quiet, undeniable. People started asking questions. Who funded it? Who guaranteed it? Why was everything suddenly fragile? My name surfaced. Not loudly. But enough. A month later, my father asked to meet. We sat across from each other in a cafe he used to love. You changed, he said. No, I replied. You just stopped controlling the narrative. He stared into his coffee. I thought success looked loud, he admitted. I nodded. It does, I said. Until it doesn't. My sister never apologized. Not really. She tried bargaining first. Then blaming. Then pretending it never happened. But the sneer was gone. So was the certainty. And that was enough. As for me, I didn't reclaim the loan. I didn't swoop in as a savior. I didn't need revenge. I redirected my capital. Different projects. Different people. Different respect. Because the greatest lesson I learned wasn't about money. It was about power. Real power doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need approval. And it never argues with people who mistake noise for worth. Months later, at another family gathering, someone asked quietly, "So, what do you do now?" I smiled. "Whatever I want," I said. And for the first time, no one laughed.